Hello everyone, welcome to Larissa's Lace, and we continue live lessons from masterpieces of Irish crochet lace. I will wait for a little bit for a few more people to come. For now, just prepare please thread for padding cord or foundation cord number 10, crochet hook, and thread of your liking to whatever you feel comfortable with. It can be fine thread, it can be a little bit thicker thread if you're learning. So welcome again to everyone who just joined me. So before I will start my lesson, I would like to ask you a favor to do for me. If you would like my videos, it's very important for me. So please don't forget to press like, don't forget to subscribe for my channel and press a bell. The bell actually is visible when you press on subscribe, and then there will be 3 choices for you to choose to receive notifications or not. They can come to your email and they can come to your YouTube channel and on your phone as a notification with a sound, so that you know when I'm going live. For now, I am doing it every Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. Standard Time. And this is time for United States. So if you are from Europe or Asia or South America, you will have to adjust your time to standard time in the United States, because we have different time zones, so please adjust accordingly. So let's start our lesson. Today, lesson will consist of 4 parts because we have a very small, tiny motifs that are very easily done, very fast. You can crochet them very, very fast. All of those motifs are on pages 24 and 25 of our book that we are working with, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace. So we will make 2 tendrils. They call them tendrils in old books. In modern time, we call them swirls. This is the way I call them, swirls. But swirls in modern Irish crochet are very different. And I could show you just few the swirls that are made in modern Irish crochet based on Romanian cord. Actually, the name of it is not really Romanian cord, it's just the cord that is used in Romanian lace. And they are decorated in a different ways, as you can see, with clones knot stitches here, with petals, with shells like that. So those are modern tendrils, and I call them swirls. So we will make 2 little swirls like that, and we will make a little button with a stalk, with like a little element that could be used to attach to other motifs, and a little cluster of 3 buttons. And I'll show you all 4 of them how to do in one lesson. So sit comfortable. Let me adjust my camera a little bit and see my hands going in a different direction all the time. And sorry, every time I adjust my camera, look like everything is okay, but then I start lesson, it's all not okay. So I cannot figure it out yet. Okay. So let's just start from the first tendril. I will put those guys aside right here so you could see what we're going to crochet today in that corner. First we will make this little swirl or tendril. And we have already Pakui, Kelly, Jean, and Elizabeth. Welcome, ladies. Hello. So, following the diagram pattern from, I'm sorry, diagram, we don't have diagrams for those, but following the written instructions from the book, we will need a single padding cord. I just keep my padding cord attached to the thread, wind in a ball, and I will use a thread. So you will use this padding cord. You don't have to cut how long. I'm not even telling you because I will use it attached to the ball and then I will cut it only when I need it at the very end of my work. So at first we will have to make over the padding cord I'm looking for the I lost where it is in the book. Okay, so it's on the page 25. So over the padding cord, over single padding cord, we will crochet 40 single crochet stitches. So at first, you just grab the thread and make your first slip stitch just to attach thread, secure thread to the padding cord. And then you crochet single crochet stitches over the padding cord. It's easier for me to crochet when this side of the padding cord is long and I wrap it around my pinky to hold to something. It's easier to crochet. Later I can of course make this part shorter. I will show you how I do that. But at the beginning it's kind of easy to hold my hands this way. So okay, I've made one stitch. Now we need 40 of them. So let's count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 20 more. It will slightly twist in your hands, don't worry about this. And continue crochet over the padding cord. We need 20 more. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So here on this side we have a short tail of our working thread that we will have that tail later. We can cut it off. And padding cord here. We will crochet back also over the padding cord, but at first I can leave this tail a little bit longer over here. It's up to you. I will leave my as long as it is right now. And according to the pattern, they want us to bend the cord that we made outward into the ring. So we bend it outward into the ring this way and connect to the 20th stitch, somewhere in the middle. And we will attach this not to this side over here, but to the other side. We will make a stitch, single crochet stitch right here. So let's count. I want you really to see where I'm going to like this. It's probably better, right? So this is important. How you connect and where. Do not connect to this side of the stitches, but on the other side, right here. Right in there. So follow. Just watch how I will do that. At first put your padding cord down and let's count back 20 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oops. I know I missed something. 20. But what I will do, just in the middle. In the middle, and I can count the stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm a little bit earlier here, so 3 more stitches over there. So poke right here your cord and make single crochet stitch there. You can, what I would recommend you to do, it does not tell anything in the book, but bend it here, poke through on the cord, insert your hook into that stitch, 20th stitch, and take the padding cord and crochet over this place of the 20th stitch in the middle, single crochet stitch, and make it over the padding cord. Make it nice and tight. You can see it, right? Now another thing, I will stretch my last stitch a little bit and we'll take care of this area. If you look in the book or in my piece already finished, it's nice and round and you want your piece flat. Right now it's not round, it's oval. To shape this place, all you need to do to pull on a padding cord right here and to make that loop a little bit smaller. Like this. Now I will cut off the short tail of the working thread because I really don't need it anymore. And all is needed, just follow the directions. So now this is what we were making. We crocheted the stack, the long row of 40 stitches, bent it over and connected with single crochet stitch in the middle of the row. With single crochet stitch. Now, if you read the pattern, it says to make one chain stitch and turn your work. So chain one, like this, turn your work, and just like that, the tail will be on your right, and the round part will be on the left. And we will crochet over the padding cord in single crochet stitches going back, and also we will make insert our hook in both loops of the stitches, not just in the back or front, in both loops, and crochet single crochet stitches all the way. I will make this loop a little bit smaller, so I will undo this stitch, and I want to pull a little bit more. Yes, Kelly, connect to the side of the cord, not to the stitch, to this round part right here. Connect over there on that side, because you can see that the cord has two sides where visible stitches are on top. Here they are. And the other side, so you connect to that side. And make sure that this part is nice and round, a little bit smaller. So by pulling on a cord, it will shape this part. So I needed to adjust that, so I came back to that area again. Now, after chain one, let me just get my hands situated here. Turn your work after chain one, and inserting hook all the time into both loops of each hook, each stitch, crochet over the padding cord, single crochet stitches. This motif is very simple. There's nothing really difficult about it. It's just that little trick place when you connect and where you connect. Connect in the middle of that long cord of 40 stitches in the 20th stitch, and connect not to the stitches on the top but on another side of the cord, that round part. It's very easy to identify. And now just crochet your single crochet stitches, going all the way back. And once in a while, I would suggest to stop and adjust your padding cord slightly, because you would see your padding cord on the back, so it have tendency to get cut between stitches. So you want to make sure it's nice and neat in here, and continue crochet. Don't worry about this stitches twisting like that at the beginning. It's always the case when you crochet over the padding cord first row. A little bit later it will all look way better. So continue crochet single crochet stitches. You can also try to crochet the same motif over the thicker cord, like double cord, padding cord that threaded, folded in half, and see how it works for you if you like thicker cords, and also into back loops. Also, you can try that, it will look also pretty. And make sure to actually insert your hook into the both loops. It's going also to be a little bit tricky where that connected place is. You will want to stop there and adjust stitches, and I'll show you how. Right now I'm crocheting in that area where I connected. And by the way, you probably already noticed I really like the way the wrong side of your motifs look like. And when you look at this motif right now, here's the right side of our work and here's the wrong side of our work. So I think that wrong side look way better. But it's my personal opinion, and I don't want you to like what I like. You can like the other side more probably. So now don't really worry about this part yet. It's very tricky here. It can bend another direction. And this is where I am right now. If I'll take the motif already made, this is where I am, in this space. And my motif right now is not really behaving so well. So you probably will come up with the same problem, but we will fix it a little bit later. So let's continue crochet a little bit more. Since it's very thin and one row always kind of have tendency to twist and stitches are kind of stretching on the cord, separating from each other, you don't want that. You want your stitches to be snug, and you don't want padding cords to see padding cords through the stitches. You want them to be adjusted accordingly. So I will now stop, and you can see it's a little bit kind of straight in here, not curved like I have it here on this motif. It's nice, smooth and round. So what to do, leave this cord alone. This is the cord we crochet over. Now we have this part, and here's this side of the padding cord, right? At the very beginning, first row. We will pull on that cord a little bit, holding the stitches, pull on that cord. And then go to the spot right here. This spot is very easy to adjust with your fingers. Just give it a shape. And another thing, you will later, of course, wash your stitches, or like I do, I put them, pin them on the padding cord or on a pillow and steam over them, so to shape them the way I want. So now my motif shaped very well, and here I can continue to crochet the stem. But also there's one more thing. If I will continue crocheting over this area and will cut this padding cord here, I will lose my stitches. They will stretch and unravel. So what I will do, I will take this part, this padding cord from the first row, and fold like that. So let me put this on the table and explain it to you a little bit better. Too many threads going on here. Let me zoom in. So, okay. So this right here, let's look again. This padding cord, this right here, this is the padding cord we were crocheting as we're making 40 stitches. This long cord. Then we bent our motif and connected to the single crochet and went back and crochet single crochet stitches going this way. And again we continue crochet with the padding cord. So it's actually the same padding cord, but it just bent, and now we come here this way. So what we will do, if I will cut padding cord right in here at the end of my work, those stitches here will stretched. You will lose some of them and they will fall off the padding cord. It's not a good thing. So what we're going to do, we will take this piece and we will fold the padding cord. I would of course fold it under, behind motif, like that. So here it is. Here's this padding cord. We folded that padding cord like that. And I hope you see it very well now. I want you to see that padding cord. So here this padding cord that we were crocheting, this part of the padding cord that we were crocheting first 40 stitches. Now I fold it like that, and I will crochet over this piece. I will crochet over this and over this piece, over both of them actually. Okay, this will allow me to secure this padding cord. Later I will pull on the padding cord at the very end, and I will have a loop here at the very end, right? And in that loop I will make last single crochet stitch, and only after that I can pull on the padding cord to reduce the size of the loop and totally remove the loop. But this way I will not lose my padding cord, I will not cut it, and my stitches will remain in place. They will not unravel. This is why I do that. And of course at the end I can take care of the same way I can take care of this single cord. I also will fold it and crochet a few stitches, like 5 or 6 stitches at the end, to make sure that my last stitches of this second row also will not unravel. So now let me know if you understand what I actually did here. Now I have to unzoom it somehow, like this. Trying to zoom it back like this a little bit, that you could see what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm sorry, my camera moving. So now let's come back to our stitch, last stitch. Insert hook into that stitch, and so here's our padding cord, and this is this one. So I will fold this, and I will crochet over folded piece of padding cord and this right here. Basically I'm doubling it right now, but crochet tight here, so, and I will show you of course how to finish all that. So continue crochet my single crochet stitches. I'm crocheting tight. The reason I keep the loop here, because I still will probably have to adjust the first row of stitches, and I can use this part of the padding cord to pull on to make sure that my curve of the stitches will remain going this way. And this can be a little bit tricky and unusual for some of you, but it's not so difficult to crochet. Make sure that when you fold and add thickness to the padding cord, that means that you have to crochet tighter stitches so that you will not really see that the thickness of the padding cord changed. So this at the end is kind of tricky place. Now, actually what I will do, I will leave this padding cord, this one. So this one that I looped, right? I use the term looped, bent over and to make it like that. I will leave that like that. And this one, this right here, I will weave in because I will have problems at the end. So I better take care of this right here. So let's continue crochet to the very end. I'm almost at the end. Almost at the end. And continue crochet to the until the last stitch is left. Don't continue continue to the end, but not way to the end. You have 2 stitches here. I have 2 stitches. I will make one, and the last stitch I'll show you how I make that one. So here's this stitch, and now before I will make my last single crochet stitch, I will adjust this loop. But first, let's look at our motif. My motif look good. I can curve it a little bit more. I can use this part. Now pay attention. This side of the loop, if I'll pull on this one, you will adjust the first row. If I'll pull on this part, well, I don't need actually to pull on this part. This part is where? Right here, this short tail of my looped stitches. I have to put it down to show you again. This is on the back. This is that padding cord, this part of that loop. Okay, I will use this, I will pull on it to make the loop smaller. So we'll come back to this. If your motif, if this part is straight and not like, let me show you. I'll just damage my motif on purpose. If your motif look like this, all you can do, take this loop, and pull on this part. You would see that this part of the padding cord comes from this first stitches of first row. If I'll pull on that, I will make a curve. And I really want you to see how it works. So I will, of course, hold my stitches here and pull on this cord. And you can see already how my motif behaves. I curved it. Okay? So it looks nice and curved. You can curve it even more if you want. It's all up to you. The more you pull on a cord, the more dramatic curve will occur here. See? Now, last stitch. I have to make my last stitch into the last stitch right here and into this loop. So this loop is a little bit too big, so all what I will do, I will pull on this cord right there. And I will make my loop smaller. And you can see how I do that. but don't pull it all the way, just a little bit. And make sure that it does not damage your first row. I want my first row still be curved. Okay. So pull a little bit more and make sure that it will look almost like a stitch here. It's very small. And now I will make, so here it is. This is my last stitch. I will make my last single crochet. I'll insert into single crochet. And crochet over this loop. Over the loop and last stitch. So make a single crochet here like this. And only now you can pull on the padding cord totally, right here at the end, to reduce the size of this loop. That's it. So now we can. Here's my last stitch. I can cut thread off. Pull on that stitch. And I have two things. I cut my padding cord here. And let's see what I have, what I end up with. So the loop is gone. The padding cord that I bent and crocheted over, this padding cord is here on the back. I can cut this off. My first row stitches are secured and the loop is inside here. This going away. Now at the very end, all I need to do, what is left? Padding cord and working thread. So I will first take my padding cord and weave in back inside the motif. I can sew over this, but it's not the easy part, and is not as does not look as neat. I'm looking for a right needle. Just a second. Probably I will lose this one. I'll use this needle. So thread the padding cord thread. And we will weave it in to secure this padding cord. Because also you cannot cut at the very base of stitches. Right here. You just cannot do that. It's not good. So now let's go to the wrong side of your motif, right here, and we will weave in the padding cord. Here it is. So I will skip few strands of thread, of working thread. You could see where it is. Here's a padding cord, and here's the last stitch. I will skip this and go and insert my needle into under the next threads and stitches. This will allow me to kind of go over stitches and create loop so that my padding cord will not come out through the stitches in other direction. Okay? And basically what I did right here, like a centimeter long, or probably here's like 7 stitches are here. So all I need, just go back one time at least. And Everything is really tight here, so use a little pliers to help you. It will be challenging for me. Okay, did it. And that's it, right here. Now, I can just cut off this padding cord here next to stitches that no one really will see where it is, where the thread is. So if I will want to use this side of my motif, I still can use it. Everything look neat. Okay. And now what is left? To weave in the working thread. For that purpose, I will use a different needle. Let me clean thread away here. I will use a different needle. I have too many needles of different sizes for different thread. And I have a question. Okay, Kelly, so I'm glad that it's easy to understand what I was trying to explain. Most books, antique books, they don't talk about this. They're not explaining the detail of finishing your work. And it's important. When I was learning, I didn't know what to do with padding cords. So it's something I'm sharing with you that I just came up with. It's my own experience. Every time you crochet, I still sometimes finish things a little bit different than I did it before, because every time you crochet, you come to something new on your own. So again, working thread the same way. You can close the area where the padding cord is visible. You can kind of sew over that cord a little bit if it's the case, and then weave in. And it's always actually easy to weave in the thread inside the stitches where the padding cord is. And if you use a fine thread like I do, I recommend to use needles for beading. They are fine, they are long, it's easy to move them through stitches. And there we have it. Okay, it's really tight in here, so I will cut my thread already, because mainly it's for the sake of time, but I always recommend to weave in quite a long piece. So here is my motif, it's finished. And if you compare the both motifs, the one that I made yesterday, was preparing for the lesson, and the one that I made today, right now with you. You can see the stem a little bit longer here, but it all depends how you will pull on a padding cord. The more you pull on a padding cord, the bigger the curve and the shorter it becomes. But both can be used as a little branch. You can use the right side or wrong side. Both look very good. Neat, right? Okay, so this is one motif. This is one tendril, as they call it. The next will be this right here. So do you have questions so far, ladies, for me? So before I will go to the new motif, I want to welcome all of you who just joined. And let's continue. So now we will make this small piece, also tendril, second tendril. It's on the page 25. It's called second tendril. And this one also done, I would say, the same way as this one. So I will not stop and show how I dealt with padding cord anymore. Everything is the same. Only here we don't have this loop. Okay. So let me grab my padding cord, thread, and let's start. So for this one we need to make over foundation cord, single cord foundation cord, 24 single crochet stitches. Then after chain 1, turn in the work and coming back, crochet. So let me just explain before I will go, it will be always easier. So we will crochet first row, 24 stitches over the padding cord. Then after that we will make chain 1 and we will turn. And when we will turn, so first actually starts from here. This is how we will do. We will crochet, crochet, crochet. Here's the end of the first row, chain 1, turn. And then the second row we will crochet this way over the padding cord, and we will make picots. So we will crochet 3 single crochet stitches, picot, 3 single crochet, picot, and so on to the end. And at the end, after the last picot, we will make 6 single crochet stitches, and that will be the end of work. We will have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picots. So it's a very easy motif, and let me show you how I make this one. And you know what, I actually I will use and crochet this motif that it will be easier for you to see. I will cut my padding cord long piece and I will crochet with thicker hook and with thread number 10. This way it will be easier for you to see. There's also another way of crocheting this motif, but I will probably use the first. Or I can show you another way of doing it. I can take the end of my padding cord, fold it a little bit like that, introduce my thread, and crochet. Here's the folded padding cord. First I will make slip stitch and then I will crochet over the padding cord. At first it will be looped padding cord. I'll have padding cord consist of 2 strands. And we'll crochet this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The reason I folded in half my motif so that I will not deal with that loop like I did here before. Will this work? I don't know, but this is sometimes a good idea. This is sometimes something I can do. And I already create the curve as I go. And I can make it a little bit bigger because it will stretch anyway at the end. So let's continue crochet. I have 12, we need 24. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh, 25, 26. Don't need 25, 26. Sorry, 24 only. 24. Okay. There we have it. So here, I made already that motif curvy. Curvy enough. It's probably a little bit too curved, but it's okay. Because every time you go back and crochet over the first row, the stitches get stretched. So don't worry about it that it's quite curved. It's okay. Before I will go further, I will grab the longest part here. I have 3 pieces of padding cord, you see, right? I will cut short piece here. Always be careful cutting next to stitches, don't cut your stitch off. And at the end, they want us to make chain 1 and then turn. And I will turn and I crochet over the padding cord, and I will still crochet with this short piece a little bit. That way it will not show anything here. So chain 1, turn, and inserting again hook into both stitches, both loops of each stitch, front and back, crochet single crochet stitches, 3 stitches first, 1, 2, 3, after 3 stitches we make picot, 1, 2, 3. I make picot consist of 3, chain 3, and close picot with slip stitch. And again continue crochet over the padding cord and into both loops of stitches on the front and back. In the book they call it into both horizontal loops, horizontal loops. So horizontal loops, this is one, they kind of horizontally laying on in your hands. And this is what that means. We in modern times call it back loop and front loop instead of calling them horizontal loops. But I think it's easier to understand front and back. So again, I made 3 stitches and now I can make picot. As you saw, I just was adjusting my padding cord and my stitches. Again, chain 3 and picot. Close your picot with a slip stitch. And again, continue. 3 stitches, 3 single crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and picot. So now this little tail become a little bit too much for me, so what I will do, I will cut it off very close to the stitch, right behind picot. And I will fold my padding cord again, as I did before, and crochet over the double. This is how I will end at the end. Will remove the loop later. You already know how. So I will not stop on that little detail. And 1, 2, 3, and again picot. And again, continue with the same pattern, 3 single crochet stitches, 2 and 3. And picot, 1, 2, 3. And again 3 stitches. So now it will be our last picot after that, and after last picot all we need to do is crochet single crochet stitches to the end of that tail of that tendril. So I'm making one more stitch here, and now I'm ready to make my last picot. 1, 2, sorry, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, close picot with slip stitch. And before I finish, I better make sure that my padding cord is not showing anywhere. Adjusting a little bit everything. This is Motif. And all we need to do, last stitches, and remember what I will do with the last, with that loop, right? So I will crochet to the very end, and then I will crochet inside the loop. My last stitch. And at the end of that motif, you have here 6 stitches left, 6 single crochet stitches. I am not really counting here. I don't really care how many left. It has to be 6 stitches. You can count if you want. At the end, it's always a little bit challenging to crochet here because it's a small piece. So now I will make my loop smaller. And here it is. So that last loop and my stitch. Single crochet stitch here. And now cut your thread off. Here's your motif. Here's that padding cord that I crocheted over. Since you hit that padding cord inside motif, you find now all you need to do is to weave in this last thread. And how to do that I will not show because I want still need time for 2 more motifs. So here it is, tendril that is made with very fine thread. This one is like number 12, and here's number 10. You can see a bigger piece, and this is how it will look like. And again, you can use or back or right side. Both look very good. So let's now, do you have questions for this part? Okay, so next part of our lesson, we will make this motif. It's a ring with a stalk, with a little stem. How you use it, make a lot of them. And for example, attach them to the branches. Okay, or to the branch right there, like this, next to somewhere like that. So there are a lot of ways of doing it. If you have this book, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace, you can look through the numerous projects that they have there, and you will find those little pieces used in their projects. So first we will make this right here, and then I will show you how to make a cluster. So to make a small ring with a little stem or stalk, we will have to make a padding cord, turn it into the triple, we crochet over the triple cord, and you can pick up handle of hook and turn, wrap around the handle of the hook, knitting needle or pencil 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Take it off, and we will crochet over triple cord in a circle. We will crochet how many? 20 single crochet stitches. So here's our triple cord wrapped around a handle of a hook or pencil 3 times. So over this coil, here it is, I call it coil, crochet 20 single crochet stitches. So first we secure our thread on that coil and with a slip stitch, and now 20 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will stop at 10 stitches to explain you something. So here's my last stitch. I will stretch that I will not lose it. Now let's look at our hands and on our thread. We have a lot of things going on, and I want you to understand what is going on. So here's our working thread. I will move it on a side, and let's look here. Here's our coil of triple cord, right? This short tail, you will of course identify the finest thread, it is part of your working thread, short tail. We also crochet over this piece. Now we have padding cord, one side and another side. One is shorter, another longer, that attached to your ball of yarn, of thread. So at some point you will have to make this ring smaller because it's too much. By pulling on a cord on a short part and a long one, it will allow you to make your cord smaller. Like, watch this. I will pull on this one and on this one. So every time you pull one of those ends, the short tail or long, this coil right here, you see you have two strands, they will get smaller. Don't be very excited and in a hurry to make that ring small. It's easier to make it smaller, but it's not easy to make it bigger. If you happened to make it bigger, made it too small and you need to make it bigger, you still can help it with a scissors. And let me show you how to do this. Let me make it even smaller. So for example, this is too small, right? And you need it bigger. Take your scissors, insert scissors inside the coil and open scissors. It's not very easy, by the way. That's why I told you it's easier to make it smaller, but not bigger. Okay, here it is going. Oops. So now I opened really too much. It fell off. So now I opened my scissors inside the coil and it's big again. So it's still possible, but I already know I need 20 stitches. I made half. This is too much for me, so I can of course go and pull on a padding cord, make it smaller, and I think I can make it even smaller, like this. And then I will finish and crochet 20 more stitches here, and then I will see. Since I need triple cord, the coil here, when you open those two ends, you have only 2 strands of padding cord. We need 3, so we will continue crochet over the long piece. We'll crochet like this direction, over those 2 and this one. And those 2 ends of the padding cord, they actually will meet at the very end of the round. And we still can pull on both of them. Okay? So this is what I wanted you to know what's going on here. So you can make your ring smaller or bigger by pulling on both ends. Okay, so let's continue crochet. I made already 10 stitches. I need 10 more. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So you see how I'm actually, since I already made so many rings, I kind of have developed a feel of when and how much to make my ring smaller. Of course, it's not small enough. I need to continue. You can leave it this way as soon as you don't see the padding cord anywhere. Look nice and very neat. So what I do now, I still will pull on the padding cord a little bit, not much. So now short tail, here's a short tail and here's the longer tail. To make it easier to pull, pick up short tail and pull this way. And I hold my ring actually in my hands and pull on a cord. And then this longer part goes down. And you will feel how in your hands when you hold the ring, how it's changing in size. You can look again. Do you want this size or you want it smaller? So it's up to you. You can pull a little bit more and it will be smaller. Now, let's pick up our working thread. It's our last stitch. And at the end of this ring, they want us to make slip stitch. So move all this thread, padding cord, both sides, length of short tail and long tail, on the back of your work. Here it is, like that. And make slip stitch into the first single crochet of a ring. So here's slip stitch. So it's done. The ring is done, but now let's go move in the back and pick up short tails, short tail of working thread, the fine thread, and short tail of a longer one. I will cut those two off. It does not say it in the book, it's not there, but how you will finish this motif, right? So I cut short tails off and I left a long tail of the padding cord, and I'll show you why I did it. It's not in the book, but I like the way it works. In the book, they want you to chain chain six. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your little stalk, as they call it. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Stalk, stack, stalk. Probably British will say it's stalk. I don't know. Now, in the book, they want to go back and crochet single crochet stitches over the chain, but I will crochet over the padding cord. Okay? So I will pick up my padding cord and start crocheting into the chain stitches and over the padding cord. So first what I will do first stitch, single crochet stitch, then I will take my padding cord back and I will crochet over this padding cord piece right here and the second, this right there, over both. So next stitch, I crochet now over both padding cords and inserting into the chain stitches. So you go on back, you make only 5 single crochet stitches on a chain. And I chose to use crochet over the padding cord. You can try it without if you want. At the end of my work, right now I can move my drop your padding cord and at the end make single crochet, slip stitch into the second single crochet over of the ring. Slip stitch like that. You can cut your thread off. And you can turn on the wrong side your motif, cut your padding cord off. You don't need this anymore. And weave in this thread. And this thread is easy to weave in inside the button in that ring. Oh yes, Kelly, it is a reminder of a fern garden. That's true. Oops. I am already, it's a winter, and I already buying books and looking at ideas of how to make my garden this spring. So I will be planting a vegetable garden, and I will plant some peonies and roses. Last summer I had a really beautiful peony bush with almost 300 flowers. Believe me, I wasn't lazy enough to stand there and count them. Those peonies, I have a pink peonies. And so I decided in the spring, take my roots of my peony and separate them and spread it around the house to have more peonies. So here it is. This is I threaded my thread, and on the back, turn your motif on the wrong side, weave in thread in the back. And it's very easy to weave in the thread in buttons. So make sure it's not showing anywhere. Right into the stitches. Just go along the one round. If it's a cotton thread, if it's silk, something sleek, you can weave in around the button like twice or 3 times, again depending on the thread. If your thread is sleek, like all silk, viscose thread are really not safe to weave in only once. They have tendency to come out really easily. So you weave it in, cut your thread off at the end. One round was enough for me. So here it is. And you can crochet a lot of those little things like that and make something out of it. So here it is. This is this motif, ring on a stalk. And now we will make a cluster of rings. This is also fun to make, and clusters in Irish crochet I used a lot. You can see clusters mainly used for making grapes, right? But you also can use rings to make all kinds of different clusters if you want. So in this book, they want us to make rings like that. They are small, really small rings. They are also made over the triple cord, the same way as we made those buttons, this one right here. So let's make 3 rings like that over the triple cord. Let's make them quickly. Oops. So around the pencil. So you can use how to make rings. A lot of times it's not a big deal. You can use a handle. I have a hook, crochet hook from company Eddie. It's a German company. I really love those hooks also. You can close them. You see, they are not going to break. And I like to use the handles of hooks. This is not easy to use, but this is round. You can use handle, you can use pencil, pen, anything round, or knitting needles. So 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Take it off and crochet. For this motif, for those buttons, we need to crochet around the coil of triple cord. 16 single crochet stitches. Let me just check to make sure that it is 16 stitches. 16 single crochet stitches. So first we make slip stitch just to secure thread. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you saw how I already made my ring smaller, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And I will make my ring, of course, smaller. Sometimes it's easy, you can pull on both ends of padding cord and they become smaller, these rings. So if you like this size, it's it. You're almost done. Move your all this thread that you have here on the back of your button and make a slip stitch here. And you can cut off all this. This one is done. Cut off thread and weave it in inside the button, of course. So let's do that. I should probably prepare my buttons already, but I really didn't have time. So you will have to do it together with me, and I don't know who is faster. Who will make more? 3 rings in 15 minutes. So those of you who will finish 3 rings faster than me, you are welcome to tell me that you finished. So I will weave in my thread inside the button first. Sometimes needle can be really stubborn, don't want to go inside. So remember to use your pliers. I'm trying to be really nice and neat even in a video because I am using a good thread that I am going to use later in my project. All those motifs that are right now I use and crochet in these lessons, all of them I will use later in some project. So 1 button is done, 2 more to go. So who's competing with me? 1, 2, and 3. I hope you don't mind to compete. I know ladies that crochet really, really fast and very good actually. I am not fast crocheter. I just noticed that when I crochet too fast, my work look not very attractive. I don't like it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and the last stitch 16, 16. Make sure that you measure your rings to make sure they are the same when you crochet clusters, or rings, even separate rings that you're going to use in your crochet. Make sure all of them have the same size, that they will look neat. Okay, I have 2 rings. How about you ladies? Are you crocheting with me? Okay, Elizabeth, you almost there. Hurry up. Hurry up. And I'm not trying to rush anyone. I don't try myself to go really, really fast. I'm just doing my normal speed, the way I work. So when you will make the last ring, don't cut your thread off after you, and don't weave in. You can see I have 2 rings already. 1 more, and I will show you how to continue and how to finish. So I am on to a 3rd ring, the last ring for our cluster. At the end of the lesson, please don't go away right away, because I have few announcements. for our future lessons. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. At the end of each ring, don't forget to make slip stitch. And I measure my rings. They're the same size. And that's when I can cut thread off. So last ring, I will cut all this thread. Don't need that anymore. Cut long enough thread, right, this one, so that you will sew all three rings together to create cluster. So you will need again needle, thread your needle. Thread the needle and we'll sew the rings together. So at first connect to one ring, as I know, let me read the instructions just a moment. So you can sew them by the 3 stitches. So 1 stitch, then going back. I'm not sure if you see how I do that. So 1 stitch, then I go from the front next to another stitch and to the stitch on the other ring. And then I will go and insert my hook into next stitch and go into the 3rd stitch on the other side. I have to apologize, my hands are so dry and you can see all those dry little chipped hands, skin on my fingers. Doesn't look pretty or attractive. The weather is dry and even my creams doesn't help for a while. Okay. Now I will move a little bit my thread so that I can sew another last ring together. So this cluster is already made. This cluster is done. And now the other part. Next ring. And we do it the same way. So first go this way. So I want, sorry that my hands are moved away. So now 3 stitches on one side, since we have 3 stitches now to attach, 3 buttons, we'll attach those 2, and then I will attach here. So first we'll make those right here. You can attach them by 3, but 2, depends. They're too small to attach by 3 stitches, but you can look at your... And you can see I do that on the front facing my work, the way I connect buttons, but it's very easy. Oops. Stretch this thread, and that's what you have. So I can just go into the stitches right here, facing the front of my work. And since I go, I'm trying to show it to you, since I go right here behind under those loops, you will never see my sewing if I will just insert my needle right in those stitches. This is how I sew buttons. By the way, you can use the right side of the buttons or the wrong side if you like. Both sides always also look really nice and neat. And so now I am almost done here. And we'll sew another side. The other 2 buttons need to be sewn. And again, I will sew facing the front. And then I'm going back. Again, next stitch. And next stitch next to the other button. Make sure that all those stitches are nice and neat here, that you don't see the thread you're sewing with. And one more time, last time, going inside, one more time, and you can weave in that thread. So I will go on the wrong side now. So when you finished sewing all your 3 buttons, turn them on the wrong side. If you want to use this side, you can then do it on the other side, but I will use this as my right side, and this is the wrong side will be for my motif. And this is where I will weave in the thread, the rest of the thread that left, like this. So after you're done finished with weaving in your thread, you cut it off, and all is left, the cluster is done, all is left to make a stem, a little tail. So this one I will use, trying to find some shorter tail. Well, I don't have it. So I will use also, it's not in the book, they don't crochet the tail of that cluster or stalk, actually stack. They don't use padding cord, but I will use padding cord just to make it look nicer. So we have to make here's our cluster, so let's do that. And where now let's look at our cluster. So now I will insert my stitch, my hook, right where we finished connecting. You see right there, between those stitches. Insert the hook there and start your chain. This is from where we will start crocheting the stalk. Baby booties. Will you decorate baby booties, Kelly, with Irish crochet motifs? Okay, ladies, so I attached my thread to the cluster. You saw where? To the button next to that area where we're sewing, and we make 11 stitches. I'm sorry, 12, chain of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here it is. Now you can do 2 things. You can add padding cord, or you can take this short tail, this short tail, and crochet over this short tail. Kind of layer this tail this way. Showing you one more time. So here's that when we connected our thread, so that we don't have to weave in anything, I will use this thread to as a padding cord. So I will wrap around my hook, and I will make over there to secure that padding cord with a slip stitch. And now I will crochet into the chain and around that short tail That's thread, right? Single crochet stitches. So what I have here, you see, I have these short tails. I'm involving it into work. That way I don't have to weave it in later. I will end up weaving in only one end. And this motif already had too many ends to weave in. So I'm trying to save my time and have only one. So inserting hook into the chain stitches and crocheting around short tail of the working thread, I crochet single crochet stitches to the very end of my chain. That way your little stalk or stem will look neat and sturdy. It will not be will not be weak like this. So at the very end, I'm finished here, right? Now we're again going next to the area where we connected the two, but I go this time to another. I started my chain from this button, and now I finish by making slip stitch into the next button, just next to the place where we connected, right in here. Just insert poke through and make slip stitch there, like this. Cut your thread off. So this is your working thread we've finished. We will weave it in. On the back, remember, here's that thread that I used to as a padding cord. So I will cut this piece off. I don't need that. I don't have to weave it in because it is hidden inside those stitches on the stack. Okay, so now I have only one thread to deal with. And you can weave it in inside or the stalk or the stem or the buttons. So thread the needle again. So by March, Kelly, you have to make a lot of little cute motifs and decorate booties. Do you know it will be a boy, a girl? Do you know that? Who is coming into your family? So here we are. I'm weaving in the button, and it really does not matter. You can weave it in the button, back, and of course you can curve the little stalk. It's look nice and curvy already. I don't need to do even anything. Just looks pretty. And just a little bit more so that it will be finished. And when you weaved in all your thread inside, that's it. Your motif is done. So here it is. So we made quite a bit today. Cute little motifs. we made. And those little clusters actually look like shamrocks also, right? So this is our work of today. We did a good job. I hope you followed and had chance to crochet with me and finish the same amount of stitches, at least to practice. And if you didn't have chance to, then you can always come back and watch the same video again in recording. So before I go, please follow me on Facebook. It's the same name as my channel, Larissa's Lace, and I will give you a link again just so that you will have it. This place, this Facebook place, is it's like my business place, business page on Facebook, and this is where you can find all information about future lessons, all information about upcoming events in Larissa's Lace, everything about Irish crochet lessons in the future year. So here is the link. Please copy that link. If you are not following me there yet, please go to that Facebook page. It's in comments. You can see it. You can open this in your browser, save it, and save it to a bookmark or something on your computer. Or just remember how to find me on Facebook. If you will like my page, of course, you will always receive all notifications when new lessons are coming and what next I will do. So follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, press bell button to receive notification every time I come live on YouTube. Also, follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram as well. On Instagram, I'm also the same name. I'm keeping everywhere the same name, Larissa's Lace. So here is my Instagram for you. So, and if you, so another comment, so first link it's Facebook page and the second link it's Instagram. So this is for now. I have pages that just those two. I also have a private Facebook group, Irish Crochet Lab video tutorials. This is group if you want to, if you are not there, if you are not a member of that group, you can write me email and find out how to join it, or write me a message at Facebook page Larissa's Lace or on Instagram and ask me how to join that group. So this is our last lesson this year. Next lesson will be, so we have 24th. It's right before Christmas. I don't think someone will join me during this time, right? And then 31st January, I'm sorry, December 31st, right? It's a, New Year Eve. Of course, those two days are family time, holiday time. Let's take a break 2 weeks, and then I will meet you for the next lesson in January 7th. So next lesson, let me write it down in comments. Next lesson in January 7th. January 7th, 2021. This is when we will continue with masterpieces of Irish crochet lace. There's still one motif left. One motif, it's on page 25, scallops with rings. Here it is, this motif. We will make that one in January 7th. And then there are background netting, different kinds of background netting. I really don't want to go into that in detail because in my private group I already have lessons and show how to crochet background netting. But also here in this book, there are two motifs that I would love to make. Those, they are not actually called motifs. This right here, it is medallion and the fan-like netting. Both motifs are netting, a ground. They are connected together in the form of a netting. And creating, basically, when you connect all those pieces together, you create a beautiful fabric. I would love to crochet this with you. So still then we will have a couple weeks from this book. And then by request, if you want to continue with this book, I will have more lessons, but in a little bit different way. Next year, I'm going to open a blog, and you can become a member of my blog, and it will be like you will have to buy a subscription for my some posts will be for free, some posts will be paid subscription, like a magazine, only online. This will be more details you will read in my Facebook page. And also I'm going to open a Telegram canal, Telegram channel, where I will give lessons, private lessons or group lessons. How to join that Telegram channel and how to join my blog, I will explain later next year in January. You just, in order for you to find out all details, please follow my Facebook page, that the link that I gave you. This is what you need to know. So if you want to continue learning in more depth the Irish crochet lace, I would suggest you to join my Telegram channel and my blog. Right now I cannot share with you the link. It's why you have my Instagram and my Facebook business page. And if you will follow me there, this is when all details will be published for you to know how to join Telegram channel and how to join me on my blog. It will be a subscription. I'm going to keep prices low, so that people could join me and afford that. And it will be up to you if you want to continue, because I'm planning to make a lot of interesting publications in my Telegram channel. I'm sorry, again, Telegram channel, and in my blog. So to keep it interesting, more advanced than I used to teach in my video tutorials before, and something interesting for you about Irish crochet every time I will post something new. So that will be it for today. Do you have questions for me so far before I go? You're welcome, Jan. Welcome, Elizabeth. Could you consider showing how to add beads to the netting? Oh, yes. I never actually crocheted, Elizabeth, netting with beads. I never did it. I do know how to do that. It's easy. How to do that? Yeah, I will have to create a lesson. I have to make a project, and of course I can do that. But since New Year coming, and I'm planning a lot of interesting lessons, a lot of interesting new projects, so that you can follow me, please, yes, please let me know. Also look at the book Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace, and let me know what else you want to learn from that book. The rest will be lessons that we can only go through Telegram channel and through my blog. It will be a little bit easier for me, because there I can publish my recorded videos, pre-recorded videos, instead of live. I will still continue doing live lessons once a week. There's no doubt. You will follow me. I will continue share with you traditional Irish crochet motifs. I will still continue sharing with you all my knowledge. I will give you enough free lessons, and some lessons, of course, I have to go and have it as paid lessons, as a subscription. This is my job, this is my life, this is how I make money. So I hope I will have enough students. It will be and as subscription and as donations. So this is what I'm planning to do for next year. I don't have any details for you, but you will all read those details in my Facebook page that you can follow. So, so yes, Elizabeth, the answer is yes, I will make lesson like that. Okay, ladies, this is all for today. Thank you for joining me. Wishing you the best. Merry Christmas. Wishing you great new year. I hope our new 2021 year will be way better than this year was. And please crochet, enjoy the 2 weeks of break, and then we will see you all next year, January 7th at 12 o'clock, as always. Thank you very much, and goodbye.